They say some people never truly disappear. They just walk through the wrong door. And when they do, the world forgets they ever existed. If you're watching this video, it means someone found Ethan Carter's camera, but he never came back. My name is Ethan Carter. I'm 28 years old, an architect. And since I was a child, I've had a nightmare that never ends. A yellow world, endless, silent, with walls that smell of damp concrete and lights that hum like they're breathing. Every time I got trapped there in my sleep, the same thing happened again and again. A door would open, a blinding light poured out, and from somewhere far away, a muffled voice whispered, "Don't come back, Ethan." My father was an architect too. Years ago he vanished during one of his projects. They said it was an accident, but they never found his body. The last thing he ever said to me still echoes in my head. "Some doors shouldn't be open, son. They don't let you come back." Since that day, something took root inside my mind. A need, an obsession. I started searching through abandoned buildings as if chasing a ghost. Maybe deep down, I was searching for that door. Or maybe for my father. Then one day I read a report. An old factory on the city's edge, closed since 1989. Multiple disappearances reported. I don't know why, but I knew I had to go there. I grabbed my camera and went. The wind whistled through the cracked walls. Every step echoed hollow and cold. The beam of my flashlight barely reached a few meters ahead. On one of the walls, sprayed in red paint, were the words, "Don't look at the lights." But curiosity has always been my curse. At the end of the hall, I saw a narrow metal door. The paint was peeling, but the warning still read, "Do not enter, maintenance only." I turned the handle. The metal was cold under my fingers. And when the door opened, everything changed. A blinding white light hit my eyes. And when I could see again, I was no longer in that factory. The walls were yellow. The floor wet, smelling of mold. The ceiling covered in damp stains. And a constant buzzing filled the air, with no source, as if the space itself was alive. I turned around, but the door I came through was gone. I started walking. Every corridor looked the same. Every turn, the same yellow walls. But something was off. On the floor were footprints. My own footprints, but further ahead than me. Fear turned into obsession. I marked the walls, but every time I turned back, the marks had vanished. I couldn't tell if I was moving forward or repeating the same steps. A familiar smell hit me, the scent of wood and fresh paint. I walked forward and froze. A room appeared, exactly like my childhood bedroom. A small bed, blue curtains, and my father's red toy car on the floor. My hand shook. I picked it up. The gear still worked. On the wall, a photograph of me and my father. But when I looked at it, he smiled. Really smiled. If at any point in this story, you felt like someone was watching you from behind, take a second and hit the like button. Maybe that small act will help others see Ethan's fate for themselves before it's too late. I pulled out my phone. The internet was weak, but I managed to search. Endless yellow rooms, fluorescent lights, no exits. The first result read, "The backrooms, spaces built from forgotten memories, places constructed from human memories and pain. If you face your fears, maybe the exit opens. But if not, you become part of it. I called Claire, my co-worker. Her voice was full of static. Ethan, it's not real. It's a trap. Get out while you can. Before I could respond, a moan came from behind me. I turned. No one was there, only a shadow flickering on the wall. The moan became a whisper. The whisper turned into a voice. My father's voice. After hours of wandering, I entered a darker room. Architectural maps scattered across the floor. One of them had my father's name. Next to it in pen, the foundation isn't stable, and a dried bloodstain beside the signature. From behind, a voice whispered, "Ethan." I turned. My father was there, or something pretending to be him. His face was blurred, movements slow, his eyes empty black voids. I asked, my voice trembling, "You're not real, are you?" And it answered only, "You're not real, Hon, are you?" I started running. The corridors grew narrower. Lights flickered and dimmed. The walls began to breathe, as if the space itself was alive. If you were me, what would you do? Face your father or run? So write your thoughts right now in the comments below. After that, I remember a white door appearing in front of me. Bright, clean, just like the door at home. I opened it and found myself inside my house. My father was there, alive, smiling. He said, "See, son, you found the way." But something was wrong. The lights flickered. The clock ran backward. And when I looked out the window, only yellow walls. I said, "This isn't home." He replied, "You didn't return, son. You only opened the next door." Claire's voice came from my phone. "Ethan, it's not real. Wake up." The ground shook. The walls collapsed. And just before total darkness, my father said, "Now, you are one of us." The camera fell to the ground. One by one, the lights went out. Only the buzzing remained. And then, silence. Days later, authorities found my camera in the same building, but there was no sign of me. They say anyone who watched that video, since that night, hears the buzz of the lights every time they sleep. Some people never get lost. They just step through the wrong door. And if one day you see a strange door, one that feels like it shouldn't be there, don't open it. Never.